Welcome, friends. My name is welcome, friends. I don't think I've ever started a video that way. What is going on, guys? My name is Noah. This is another Sunday live stream. I'm really happy to be here. I always start off my live streams, not always, but I typically and often enough start off my live streams with a little reading from a book I peek into from time to time called Believing in Myself. I am a big proponent on working and cultivating a healthy self-esteem. I'm somebody who doesn't typically, I don't come from a good background of true good self-esteem. So let's read today's little meditation thing, or let's read today's daily reading on self-esteem. So it is September 16th, which is crazy, by the way. September, and then we'll start answering questions. What's up for we got a few people who are already with us. I look with Luke. Yeah, what up? WWE Xander Reaction. Hi, what's going on? SJ, hey brother, what's good? Hey man, good to see you. Shane's Recovery and Hope. What up, dude? All right, everyone. I'm gonna. Are you codependent? Aren't we all to some extent? I'm gonna go ahead and get to those comments, which I'm so glad you guys are leaving in just a second. But let's do this reading real quick in case it might benefit you. If not, I know it's gonna benefit me, and I want to start off my live stream this way. So, September 16th. It is sad not to be loved, but it is much sadder not to be able to love. Okay, so it is sad not to be loved, but it is much sadder not to be able to love. Agreed. What could be more crushing than to be in love with someone who is either not in love with you or who simply does not have the skills necessary for a healthy relationship? That's an interesting line. Wow. What could be more crushing than to be with someone who simply does not have the skills necessary for a healthy relationship? That's crazy. We could literally do an entire live stream just unpacking that. Either case is a self-esteem killer. No matter how you try to take care of yourself or work your program, one way, love is a misery as long as it lasts. It hurts to reach out to someone who won't or can't reach back. I like that distinction a lot. Even if we know that loved one's chemical use or other unintended emotional impairments is the real reason behind the rejection, it's still rejection and it still hurts. Even if we rightfully say it's his problem or her problem, it's still our pain that we have to deal with. Depending on the situation, what can and must be done varies greatly. What doesn't vary is the sad fact that we can't make someone else love us no matter how hard we try. Boy, is that true. Dang, my face is all kinds of lit up right now. No matter how many extra miles we are willing to go, if the other one won't move an inch, the relationship won't move an inch either. Until we can accept that and achieve some detachment, we'll be stuck right where we are. Others have survived doomed love relationships, and so can I. Well, while that is a slightly morose reflection and believing in myself, it does cultivate the idea that we are not in control of other people at all. And I think that's the take-home message there. Anyway, that's what I take home from it. It's like, I cannot control my wife. I also, as such, I can't base my happiness on her behavior. I have to focus on my own behavior, cultivate my own happiness, take responsibility for my own outlook and happiness, and then hopefully grow with her. But it's like detaching with love. That's crazy. Okay. Wow. I updated my software that we're using here, guys, so if the audio gets wonky, someone please call it out in the comments below. My goal for this live stream, which I think will last about an hour depending on how I'm feeling, and how everyone's doing and how just the vibe. My goal is to really stay on top of comments. I will always honor super chats. Super chats support this channel, and this channel needs support. So I'll honor those and answer those first, but otherwise we'll try to get to everyone. And I really, really am glad you guys are here. Truly, I can't express it enough. So Tamara Malone, or Shelly Howard says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Shelly. Tamara Malone says, are you codependent? I'm sure I am in a lot of ways, but I try really, really, really hard not to be codependent. So if you guys don't know what codependency is when the way you see yourself is directly related to how you think someone else may or may not see you. It's when your mindset, happiness, behavior is deeply impacted by the behavior of others as opposed to run off of your own sense of self. And we all are codependent, in my opinion, in varying degrees. I think that the goal for me personally is just to be on the end of the spectrum that is independent, so that I cannot be so hardly affected by people, places, or things, aka so that I can't be so deeply affected by things I can't control. Ted Mosby says, "What's up? What's going on, Ted?" Bluke says, "Niella." What up? Tamara Malone says, "Yes." Serenable. Hello, Mr. No-No. What's going on? Tamara Malone. I just jumped in and wondering what your channel's about. My channel's about me, I guess. I know that sounds so cliche, Tamara, if you're still here. But yeah, it's just my life. I bet my viewers would really appreciate a more consistent vibe to my channel, but I post the things that are of interest to me. I'm passionate about some mental health, fitness, some random stuff. I'm a little all over the place. Yeah. But feel free to check out the previous videos, see if something works for you. I'd love to have you. Thundercat says, "Hey Noah, what's up?" Bob Street. Shorter of breath, one day closer to death. Hang in there, Bob, as always. I'm going to ask, Bob, that you listen today as best you can, see if you can hear a message of hope. But if you need to express yourself and your pain a little bit, you're welcome to do that here. And if you get a little too expressive to where I feel like you're just being dangerously negative, then we might time you out a little bit. So I'm hoping, Bob, that you can just take a deep breath, my friend, and know that we care about you and I want you to heal. And I want you to get lost in the solution today the best you can, Bob. Adelaide Dubois. I'm so glad that you're live streaming right now because my depersonalization is really bad right now. Well, you're in a safe space, and I'm so sorry your DP is not doing well, Adelaide. I know a lot about that, and I know how uncomfortable it is. Tao. Bob, I'm so happy that you made it back. Yeah, for another week. Please know that I'm really beautiful. Yeah, as always, guys, as much as you can, send Bob love. He is our weekly sufferer. Bob struggles. And as I know, when I was deep in my suffering, my mental health struggled dangerously for over a year. So I am not threatened or bothered by the longevity and persistence of Bob's suffering. I welcome him here every time. And I'm glad every time he says he's closer to death, but every week Bob's here. So he's still a fighter. Shane's recovery and hope. I can't stop drinking, bro. Clean off opiates for 16 months, but now I binge drink every weekend. It's a process, Shane. I hear that. I might encourage you to not say I can't stop drinking. Maybe more just that's what you're doing right now. And I think, as cliche as it sounds, when you're ready, you'll be ready. But you're investigating it, right? I mean, you're thinking about it. It's affecting you. I understand that feeling, though. I literally binge drank every weekend for the last couple of years, and then it crept into the week, and then it started to affect a lot of things in my life. It was really hurting me. So just know that if I can get sober with adequate motivation and reasoning, so can you, my man. If you feel up to it later, maybe do a pros and cons list or just start doing some reading. Dirk Diggler, good luck to all today. Stay positive and try to keep busy. Beautiful, Dirk. White Mama, we all need to grow the F up. Yeah, adult responsibility is something I'm taking very serious in my life these days. No doubt. We have a super chat from Dylan Barker. Thank you, Dylan, for supporting this channel with that super chat. And Dylan just has a message for Bob. Bob, just remember that thousands of people feel the same. Yeah, I've always been a big proponent of sharing with you guys when I was doing terrible because you guys hold me down. You guys let me know I'm not alone. And that was the reason I started this channel, was literally to be like, I feel screwed. I don't know if I'll ever get better. Can anyone relate? And it turns out a lot of people can. And then obviously something we work towards here, and I'm really happy about how that's been going these last few months, as we work towards being in the solution, not being perpetually in the problem. And there are ups and downs, but it's important. Darren Ollie Coyote, can I ask you a question? Oh, feel free, Darren. Feel free. Vesman, is there any way to contact you besides asking you in here? Yes, everyone is welcome to check out my Patreon page. Help support this channel, and you can reach me every day there. Edwin Delgado from Puerto Rico. That's awesome. Welcome, Edwin. I got a buddy who's just about to head down there for vacation. Shoot. My live stream just pushed me to the bottom. Serenable, I'm stuck on benzos, Valium, but I'm down to 10 milligrams every 24 hours. Hey, work with your doctor, and I'm sending you so much courage and bravery. I had to come off of benzos when I was abusing them a bit, and it was not easy for me, and I didn't even get to a particularly high, excuse me, a particularly high dose. So, yeah, I know it's tricky, I know it's hard, but it's worth it. So hang in there. Lebanon, number one, are you going to do a 30K challenge next? No, I'm never. I don't know I know a lot of people didn't watch my challenge video, my eating challenge video, because that's not what anyone subscribes here for. And in fact, I caught some flack for it, which I figured was going to happen, which is fine. But I did a 15,000 calorie eating challenge, and it was kind of fun for what it was for a while, but it wound up becoming very bad. I got very sick. Anyway, I'm never doing another eating challenge of that nature again. It was just an itch I had to scratch for some reason. God, I threw up so much. Raymond, hello from Amsterdam. What up? Raymond, what time is it in Amsterdam? Welcome. Mohammed Cordogli, hello. What's going on, Mohammed? Ted Mosby, does your tongue still feel like it's burning? Did you get it checked out? You mentioned it a few weeks ago. No, guys, so I had like a burning tongue syndrome, dry mouth thing. I don't know if it was a hormonal deal or it had to do with the prolonged fasting and cutting I was doing. I don't know. Could have been all in my head. I'm very much okay with that possibility too, knowing me. But it's doing really well. Mo says hello from Algeria. Mohammed, wow. Hello from Algeria. That's wild. Welcome. Lola Hunter, do you think that alcoholism is a form of self-harm? I feel like this is a silly question, but I've asked around and many people say no. Was just wondering what you think. I think it is a form of self-harm. I definitely understand that most people, a lot of people at least, it would never cross their consciousness that that's what's going on. I mean, so many of us, and I obviously speak for myself, awareness is everything, and not being aware of why you're doing things and how it's affecting you is huge. And so one of my favorite things about being sober and in recovery is that I'm able to deep dive my behavior, my motivations, my outcomes so much more, and become more in tune with why the hell I do the things I do, how does it impact me, stuff like that. But like when I was actively drinking, I didn't see it as self-harm. I saw it as like self-care in many ways over the years. It's like it was a solution for me. I really loved it, and I was willing to weigh the pros and cons, and I thought it was still worth it. It was only towards the end of my drinking where I was like really in tune with like, dang, I am destroying myself with this. But when I was younger, if you said you're harming yourself, other than being like, okay, alcohol is a poison, I'd been like, no, like this is just a fun part of life. So it just depends on someone's level of awareness. Dylan Barker, loved your vegan challenge, really interesting. Thank you, Dylan. I'm trying to get your guys' feedback. I kind of want your guys' feedback on like what my next challenge should be, because I enjoy doing those, even if it's not the main reason people are here. Shane's Recovery and Hope. Hey, Adelaide, hanging there, beautiful. Tomorrow Malone, do you know about borderline personality disorder and narcissistic disorder? No, not enough to really comment on. I mean, I can share opinions on it, but I know what narcissism is, you know, and I don't know a ton about the literature on borderline personality disorder. White Mamba from Liverpool, UK. Yes, beautiful. That's so cool. Corey T, hi. What's going on, Corey? Darren, I'm just going to call you Darren. Darren says, how did your TRT treatment affect your friends and family? Did you gain more friends and reconnect with family? I mean, so I'm on testosterone replacement therapy as part of my diagnose hypogonadism via blood draw, prescribed by my doctor. I always say that as a disclaimer because I'm like so afraid of YouTube coming after me again, which they have done in the past. But yeah, I mean, it only affects friends and family so much as it is my mood might be positively impacted by it. So considering I had like a massive hormone disorder, which, by the way, I say this often and I'll hopefully always say it, go get your blood work, guys. If you have the ability to connect with a physician in any way, shape, or form, ask that you have a comprehensive blood panel done where you can check everything. And I do mean that. Check everything. Because if there's something going on internally, a biomarker or something that you can identify via blood draw, you should know about it, especially if you're struggling with mental health. I didn't gain more friends. I just, to finish this question, Darren, it just, yeah, as my mood improved, I became more able to have relationships and work on my depression, which impacted that stuff. Marin W. Douglas is live streaming now. Noah, that's so funny. Is he really? Let me see. Douglas Block. Douglas Block is this quirky old man who I just love. And he's, there we go. Yeah, Douglas is live right now too.
It's like switching channels. Check out, Luis Corrales always has good recommendations. What is sensitization? Explained?
Douglas,
I need to write that down.
You are.
Anybody have a pen?
We are both here. Live. That's funny.
Here we go. By the way, Julie Hayes, an old listener, sent this when I was down and out.
That's cool. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to just... Sorry. So Douglas is like a guy whose book saved my life. Douglas Block. Everyone should check out his YouTube channel. I helped him start that baby and get it launched. It's a great channel. And when I was in the Psych Ward, Douglas, his book came into my possession called When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. And I... Huge channel, much bigger than mine. He's 31 years old. He's really got his act together. And he's in recovery, so he has a lot of good things to say. Noah Thomas. Hello, Douglas. Pat Upsing. Nice to see you. Sensitization explained. So, can someone tell me what that's about? You said that the hypogonadism. Okay, I'm done. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. If I were you, I'd been like, dude, focus on your live stream or I'm pacing. My fault. Okay, I'm here. I'm present. Doug, I have to close you out or I'm just going to keep staring at you. So yeah, anyway, when I was in the Psych Ward, Douglas Block was, his book came into my possession. I was deeply suicidal. I was obviously in the Psych Ward on a psychiatric hold. And I read his book and it was a huge catalyst for saving my life because it was the first time I identified that anyone else understood what I might be going through. And if you're anything like me, especially if you're experiencing mental health problems for the first time, then you don't know what's happening to you and you don't think it'll ever get better. So Doug really saved my butt. Corey T, hello bro. What's going on, Corey? Kuno Washington, rest in peace, MGK. Oh, okay. God, tell me he didn't die. He just got killed by Eminem via the rap battle. Can't take another rapper dying this week. Tomorrow Malone, I'm in terrible pain right now. I've been discarded by my borderline and PD. 10 years of abuse, boyfriend. I'm very codependent, so I think I need to go to Coda. Go to Coda. If you ever have an inkling for, excuse me, if you ever have an inkling, guys, for like, oh, something's wrong, I need help, trust that feeling and do something about it. Corey T, thanks for the support. Of course, thanks for yours. SJ, I'm so codependent, it makes me depressed every day. Luckily, there are tools and skills for that. Hang in there. Makes me want to leave my job. Corey T, feels nice to be slice. Cool. Mark N, where are we? Mark N, what advice would you give to maintain a healthy relationship when severely depressed? I feel like I can't be there for my girlfriend because I'm suffering too much. Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, I'm not sure a healthy relationship can be maintained when you're deeply depressed. I'm not, of course, speaking like I know it all, but healthy relationship? Like, I think for me, when I was deeply depressed, and I just think in general, if we can just minimize damage and just sustain the relationship, that's a win. Try not to harm, and in the midst of our pain, that's a win. So I think the number one thing you can do if to maintain your relationship, and of course if you can maintain a healthy one, that's amazing. But it's just tough to have a healthy relationship when you have someone in the relationship who's deeply unhealthy, such as yourself, such as myself when I was depressed. I would say just to be humble, be kind, and encourage your partner to take extra good care of themselves. And you know what? Hold yourself to a high standard. Just be like, today I'm going to focus on me and make sure they focus on them. That's a tough one, though. It's one of those things I could unpack for hours. Shane's recovery and help. Thank you, man. Yeah, I definitely recognize it, man. Just got to dig deep. Yeah, and just got to take small actions. I mean, just small, tiny little actions that add the F up. Corey T alive. Levi Burke, love you, brother from another mother. Keep on keeping on. It's always refreshing to listen to your stream and learn about new things and ways of living a better life. Oh, thank you. That's awesome for you to share with me. Appreciate that. MLG Findog, what's up, Noah? What's going on? What, you guys still hear? I have some sickness in my voice. I am still fighting something. Saeed Davids, hey Noah. Would you say you feel different after your mental breakdown with depression, anxiety, and DPDR? How did you manage to get used to the new you? I mean, yeah, I feel different because once you've been through it, you never unlearn those feelings. You know, you can't take it back. But I would say that I feel better now than I felt at any point in my 20s. I think my biggest issue is that I get caught up like romanticizing my childhood or my teen years or my carefree years. And I think that's just part of growing older, having a little bit of existential reflection and being like, damn, things change, things will never be the same. But I also don't put myself in a corner and say like, I'll never be happy again. I'm done with that sort of language. So yeah, it's made me more aware. It's made me more appreciative of my mental health. It helps me understand that there's suffering out there beyond my previous comprehension. And so it gives me a better sense of gratitude. You, in terms of getting used to the new you, you get used to the new you by being the new you longer. Like, and luckily for me, through a lot of hard work and just, I don't know, just being lucky, I guess, I can say that like the longer I'm outside of that mental breakdown, the longer I'm sober and working recovery, the longer I'm learning and doing new things and continuing to demand growth and development for myself and not settling for anything, the easier it becomes to just trust this process and enjoy my new life and not get too caught up looking over my shoulder for the past. Hey, look with Luke. There's no interaction on the Patreon page. Yeah, I'm so sorry, dude. You're right. The Patreon page, I've been really doing good about getting back to people when they write me, but I've not held up my end of the deal on that Patreon page. I need to restructure the whole thing. Probably need to do some refunds. I want that community to be booming, and I'm really grateful that I will get back to everyone who writes me there, but that's going to be a major goal of mine going forward is how do I honor those folks, because I need that support, and so I will work on that, Luke. Thank you for sharing that. Corey T, hello from Wisconsin. That's dope. What up, Corey? White Mamba says, your wife is so supportive. You are lucky. She is, and I am. Brandon Tempest, my man, my man. Corey T, you still using testosterone therapy? Yeah, of course. Kim Philpin, I'm just here telling anyone who needs to know I care. I suffer with mental issues and other health issues, but I try to never for others need my thought. Absolutely. Thank you, Kim. Corey T, soda is worse. Kuno Washington, hi from the Republic of Georgia. Wow. How's it going, Kuno? Brandon says thank you to Kim. Pradeep, hey bro, Noah, how you doing? I'm all right today. I've been sick most of the week, guys, so I'm feeling pretty happy just to not be sick right now. I mean, we'll be getting better. I'm still a little bit sick. Corey T, I'm off benzos too. Yeah. Shane, Recovery and Hope. Your channel is a beacon of hope, Noah. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Shane. It means a lot to me, man. Please, please, please believe in yourself. You really can do anything you want, man. You can be anyone you want to be. You just have to believe it's possible. Kim Philpin should say, never forget. Wade Wells, almost 17 months sober here. Congrats on your journey. Beautiful, Wade. Congratulations to you. That's wonderful. Raymond D, it's 9:15 p.m. here. Oh, crazy. All right, cool. Corey says, I'm 34. YouTube Illuminati. Shane's recovering. Oh, good job, Wade. Awesome. SJ, think about suicide on a weekly basis, not every day, but weekly. Hey, please, know that I feel for you there. It's a very uncomfortable space to be in. I'm happy and grateful that you're not thinking about it every day, and I hope that suicidality, those thoughts, get further and further apart like they did for me. And get support. Corey T, B vitamins and magnesium help? Absolutely. My name exists. Does a juice fast exist in your future? Maybe. I'll post something on our community tab and just get a vibe for what people may. I mean, I don't know that. Oh, dude. It's raining so hard right now. Yeah, I'll post something on the community tab and see if you guys might want to see me take on a challenge. Hopefully more health-based, unlike my last one. Where are we? Wade Wells, thanks Shane. Heroin, opiates of any kind, coke and whiskey, all gone by working a program of recovery. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Tao Tao, I love Douglas too. Is he a medical doctor? No, Douglas is not a medical doctor, but he is a certified counselor. He's gone to school for counseling. Darren Alukayode. Darren, I need to call you just Darren, so I don't butcher this. It's so cool to hear you respond to a question. I normally watch streamers with tens of thousands of viewers, and that never happens. Well, worry not, Darren. This is a tiny-ass YouTube channel. We've got a beautiful group of 50 or so people here. It allows me to get back to everybody. It's weird. It's like, well, I hope someday I would be blessed and lucky enough to have an audience that big. I never want to miss out on how beautiful it is to have any audience at all, and that I have like a small niche group of people spending time with me. That's funny. Brandon Tempest, you and Douglas are both my favorite mental health YouTubers by far. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, thank you. Nicholas Wood, got my blood work, came back with low T, level 230. Was wondering if you ever got an MRI, scrotal ultrasound check for varus. Your channel has been helping me out with all emotional symptoms. I never did any of those things. I don't know why. It's like it's just my doctor didn't bring it up, so I didn't go do it. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Good luck on your journey. Bill Banks, MGK diet for M&M bars. Yeah. At least he fired, though. Raymond D. Do you have any experience using Ritalin for depression? I don't. I do not. Been having episodes of psychotic depression for years. Institutionalized right now. Doctors want to start Ritalin. I don't have ADHD, etc. I mean, I have experience, Raymond, with psych meds. And, I used off-label Seroquel for 6 months for sleep after my breakdown. I've been on Tricyclics and MAO inhibitors, anti-psychotics when I first had my breakdown, on and off cocktails of psych meds, trying to figure out what would work for me. But I didn't ever try Ritalin. We have a super chat from Luke. Oh, Luke, if you're already supporting me on Patreon, I don't want your money here, doc. It says, no judgment, no, just want to support you in thinking about going to 100 level from 50 for your family. Hey, Luke, look, I'll reach out to you today. I need to know what video I can make for you, obviously. But only do that if you really want to speak to me face to face for an hour every month, because that's what that's for. And I just don't spend your hard-earned money unless you're in a really good space, right? Like, of course, I want anyone's support who can give it to me. There's very little money on YouTube, and I do this full-time, and I'm lucky to do it full-time, so that's not a complaint. It's just a reflection on the reality of this whole thing. But yeah. Anyway, let that be your choice. But I appreciate you. I'll reach out today to you on Patreon, and we'll chat. We'll figure out where we're at with your rewards here and all that stuff. And thank you. Shane's recovery, that's awesome, way awesome. Yeah, old school beaner. I'm 45, on TRT now for 6 years. I didn't have a problem with not being able to have kids since starting TRT until I can't. Do you think you will ever wish you did? I wish I had kids. I don't know. I'm at a space right now, guys, where I cannot imagine having kids, like, at all. Don't tell my mom that. She's probably watching or will be watching soon. But I don't know, man. With my history of mental health stuff, with the state of the world, not to get all like esoteric or whatever, just, I like my life, and being a parent requires so much focus, energy. It's such an incredible responsibility. And I'm barely learning how to take good care of myself, and I see so many parents who just look like they're miserable because they're probably still learning how to take care of themselves, and they have to nurture these little lives. Ka-choon. Cheers to the parents. That shit's scary. But you never know. Maybe we'll want kids. But for now, my wife and I are like, let's just be dog parents. Char says, hi, Noah. For people who have not used bad drugs, my question is, why exactly are the symptoms of DRDP so strange? And do the symptoms eventually dissipate? Yes, the symptoms can absolutely dissipate. The key is just to sort of understand in what ways you might be aggravating. But luckily, the brain wants, in my opinion, my experience, your mind wants to heal, wants to get better. Excuse me, that was rude. So if you're struggling with depersonalization, depression, anxiety, understanding your triggers, understanding things that can increase your symptoms, that's huge. Stimulation, hormonal issues, inflammation in the body, your sleep, caffeine, whatever. The point is there are things that make DP worse. Big, giant stimulating environments. But they do go away when we get better at managing those things, and when we just heal our minds, right? When we don't do things to hurt, drugs, abuse, stuff like that. MLG Findog, do you no longer have symptoms of depression? I mean, no, I don't have symptoms of clinical depression. I have depressed days for sure, like anyone, mood swings, ups and downs. But the more stable my behavior is, the more structured I am, the more I continue to hone and work on my self-care, all the things that come with experience, interest, willingness, luck, I suppose you could say. They get better and better, and I deal with them better and better. But listen, once you've been deeply depressed like I have been, I don't live in like a perpetual state of fear, but for when it may or may not come again. But I understand that this isn't something you cure, in my opinion. You learn to live with that a bit, and you fight for wellness. And I've had stretches where I was completely great, like no depression, anything like that. But I don't hold on to them or take them too close to heart, just like I wouldn't if my mood dipped for a while, because depression can be cyclical, and you just got to be careful with how your attitude and mindset. And I focus on my habits, my structure, my routine, and I really, really work hard to lock those things in, and just make sure that I'm really good at them, so that when I have a harder time, when my mood slips, when things don't go my way, I know what to do. I'm just really good at doing them. If that makes sense. Another super chat from A Look with Luke. Blessings your way means blessings my way. Well, you're very kind, and I'm so thankful for you, man. Appreciate that so much. Tamara says, thank you. I'm going to go look for the CODA schedule right now. Please do. Please do. Guys, it can be moments of intention, moments of inspiration, which are fleeting. You have to act on them, because you don't know when you'll have them again. And that's why we develop habits and routines. And like I always push, and I just want everyone to cultivate, and I want to continue to hone in on my own and figure out where they can continue to benefit me. It's like you have to run with motivation and those sort of things, because they come and go. They come and go. So don't miss out on the chance to take really good care of yourself. White Mama says, you know you can't tar people with the same brush. Depression might be miles away from others. Damage control is the way toward, yes, absolutely. Nicole Thomas, I have OCD, anxiety, ADD, and feel down. Do you ever struggle with loneliness and being overwhelmed? I'm at college and feel like I don't have a ton of friends, and I'm overwhelmed with schoolwork. Yeah, absolutely, Nicole. Thank you for being honest about that. I have OCD as well, pure OCD, struggle with anxiety and all that. I don't so much struggle with loneliness right now. And for me, I can feel lonely in a crowd. So it's not so much being around people. Like right now, I'm just feeling content with where I'm at in my life, and I've really earned that contentment, in my opinion. You know, I've suffered a lot, like a lot of us have, with mental health problems, and I've gotten in my own way so many times. So at this moment, I'm really happy to share that I'm not lonely, and I very rarely feel overwhelmed, because I've become relatively good at listening to myself, my body, my mind, my soul, when to speed up, when to slow down. It's taken practice. That being said, I encourage you to keep talking about this. You know, tomorrow I could wake up depressed and lonely. So college is a very stressful time. It's a very stressful time where we're supposed to be figuring out what to do with the rest of our lives, and most of us don't really know who we are. So I encourage you to go ahead and explore that more, explore these feelings, read more, learn more, talk to more people, and be kind to yourself. It gets better, and you can find that balance. Jeremy says, seeing you were live and wanted to drop in to say hi. You've been an amazing blessing in my life. Thank you for your videos. Thank you for dropping in. That's awesome. Nicholas Wood, by the way, I'm 19 and basically every symptom of low T. Nicholas, that sucks. I was diagnosed with low T at 25, so who knows how long I had it. Can't read this name. It's definitely different origin. Origin, is that how you put that? But Pacto Blub is the end. Hi, no, I had a good day, and the more I try to create a perfect day for me, the more perfect days I have, so it's worked. That's wonderful, dude. Hell yeah. Brandon says, how's your sobriety going? I'm currently 43 days sober. Congratulations. That's dope. I love hearing that. My sobriety is going quite well. My recovery, I'm over 5 months sober now. and I work a recovery program, and I have a sponsor, and those things are going really well. I have to be hyper vigilant. I have to put time into it daily, or I'll forget. I definitely, one thing I have noticed is that we're coming into a new season, right? We're coming into a season where last couple of years I've been really drunk really often in the months of October, November, December, the holiday season. Just lots of drinking, lots of eating, lots of chaotic behavior, and I just have to play that tape through. I just have to remember going into this season why. Wow, it is raining so loud. But I just need to remember why I want to be sober, play the tape through as to what happens when I forget my reasons for wanting to be sober and work a recovery program, because I barely limped out of this last holiday season. My disease, my addiction really beat me up, and I'm lucky to be alive today. So anyway, it's going wonderful right now, and I'm praying and working hard to make sure it stays that way. I have a lot to lose. Fenguraz Harsa, how long between relapses? So I'm 5+ months sober now. And then I was out there drinking for a couple years between getting sober. Misanthropic 1, you still sober, dude? Yes. Adelaide, I lost it. Adelaide, my DR are extremely bad right now. Do you have any tips to get it better? I mean, the tips I have to get it better from just like an anecdotal perspective and from everything I've learned are just to identify anxiety-ridden patterns and habits, focus on your sleep, minimize stimulants, basic principle stuff that so many of us struggle with, minimize processed sugar, identify blood work issues. There's so many tips. The most important thing, beyond like the what do I do, because there's a lot of information on what to do, my biggest question to myself and the question, that I pose to a lot of people that I just think is a valuable one, perhaps the most valuable one, is like, why do you want to recover? Like, what's your motivation? And are you in touch with your reasons? And are you willing to go to any length to get better? So just hang in there, okay? And just do the next tangible thing. Sebastian Atkins says, once depersonalization is mostly over, did you have periods of depression? I've had periods of depression since I was like 18, 19, whether pre-breakdown, post-breakdown. So yes. Ragnadir, hi Noah, just got here. How you doing? I'm all right today. Thank you for asking. I'm not digging like the way this camera handles like the lighting. Like it's making me look absurd. But that's okay. White Mamba, you can trust the process when you have the support network you talk about. What about us that have no family? Can you put yourself in the shoes of the isolated? Would you give the same advice? I would. I would give the same advice to trust the process. There's a process for everyone. There is. I don't care if you have what you have or you don't have. If you think because of your situation there's nothing you can do and you're just destined to suffer and fail and struggle, then I think you're wrong, and I think you've lied to yourself. And you might have good reason for telling yourself these things, but it doesn't make it true. So for an isolated person who has access to the internet, you have a network available to you. You have support available to you. It might be via online, and you might have to work a little harder to find that support in person, but there are programs, places, and things available to everyone for just about everything. It's just a matter of willingness and effort. It really is. And it's not to discredit pain, suffering. It's not for me to say I'm not so grateful that I have support network. Absolutely, I've got one and I use that. I don't waste it. But there are people that pigeonhole themselves into horrible situations, and they refuse to take ownership and responsibility for themselves because they have that victim mentality. They have that victim mentality. And once you're an adult, you are no longer a victim. You may have been a victim as a child, and this is something I had to look into my past with. You may have been a victim as a child because as a child you have nowhere to go, nothing to do. You're stuck, right? But unless you're physically being forced to do something as an adult, then it is now your responsibility to heal yourself, to be your own parent, to take responsibility for your mental health, and to do anything necessary to honor that person in you that needs you. So yeah, same advice, absolutely same advice. Find a process that works for you and your situation and trust it. And trust that the way if you're struggling, right, if you're suffering, this is something I've had to ask myself a lot. Your best thinking has you where you're at right now. And there are great parts about your thinking. All of us have good intuitive thoughts and behaviors, but a lot of us who suffer because we're stuck in loops of thinking and patterns of behavior we probably don't even understand. And that's why we have to rely on others. We have to find models and support systems and programs and things that might work for us so that we can learn about ourselves through others. Very same advice. I'll never change that. Sebastian Atkins, also, anyone struggling with DPDR, I was there and trust me, it sucks, but if you give it time and ignore it, it will go away. I improved with this, had it for a year. Good. Bill Banks, MGK better not respond. I don't think he will. I hope he doesn't. Shane's recovery, and I feel like he already gained what he needed to gain. He got plenty of respect for going after Eminem, and like Eminem said, this is per Eminem. For the style of rapper MGK is, I feel like he did pretty good. I mean, he's not like a super lyrical guy, so I feel like he did a good job. Shane's recovery and help. Stay strong, White Mamba. Yeah, White Mamba, good. Harrison Raybuck, I feel like every time I have a question for you, I miss your live stream. Now that I'm here, I can't think of it. Oh, dude, it's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Well, think of it, bro. White Mamba, always strong. White Mamba never accepted. Good. Jeremy, Patreon, what is it? Is this the only within the States I'm unable to access here in Florence, Italy? I don't know, Jeremy. That's a good question. I have no idea how that works internationally. Patty Hinn, do you know the anxiety guy? I don't. Shane's recovery and hope. You're accepted here, man. We care, White Mamba. Hell yeah. Adelaide Dubois, I have a really important question I really want answered. I have had DP and DR for a long time now, but in the last 2 months it's gotten extreme. Can puberty cause this? Man, hormonal changes can do... I hate this lady. Hormonal changes can do a lot of things, a lot of things, but I am certainly not qualified to talk about what, how, and all that stuff. But endless possibilities when you're going through puberty, I imagine. Get over here, you. I'm sorry you're suffering. Definitely. God. Right. Ooh. Dude, I almost just spilled my water everywhere. I'm going to drink this up. Is anyone like me and hates the sound of someone drinking water? I apologize if you are like me. And there's my mom. Maya Thomas with a super chat. Ever consistent, Mama. Ever consistent. Thank you, of course. I'll be sure to cash app you the money for sushi last night. I love you with all my heart. Maya Thomas is my mom and my greatest fan. Arguably too much of a fan. I'm just kidding. Shane recovery. Adelaide, I would say it's normal. Yeah. Invalid DK. Hey, just wondering, are you still on Klonopin? No, I've not been on Klonopin for well over a year. Linda James. I've been diagnosed with extreme anxiety 2 months ago, and the first attack was the scariest moment in my life, right? That first anxiety attack is literally the scariest moment of anyone's life, I feel like. A true panic attack, if you've never had one, you think you're dying. It's so scary. Now I have trouble sleeping. You have any tips on sleeping without any sleeping aids? I mean, yeah, I have a lot of tips on sleeping. There's so much good information out there on sleeping. Here are some things that work for me. One, I replaced the light bulbs in my room and in my bathroom so that they are blue light blocking light bulbs. So I eliminate that blue light that can shunt melatonin production. Melatonin being a really important, powerful hormone for regulating sleep. I get to bed about the same time every day. I wake up at the same time every day. I sleep in a cool room, about 64 degrees, 63 degrees at night. It's very, very good to sleep in a room that's tempered between 60 and 66 for sleep. I make sure that I give my body like 2 hours before I go to bed to digest. Well, I try really hard for that one. Some other stuff. I have a morning ritual that involves sunlight and getting a little bit of fresh air, going for a little walk when I can to help reset my circadian rhythm. I read before bed. I get off my phone, take that very, very seriously. I sleep in a really dark room. I mean, I could go on and on and on. The real thing you need to do is if what helped me take my sleep more serious was to learn more about the power of good sleep. So, Lyndon, if you're struggling with what you're struggling with, and it hurts to hear that. I encourage you to look up the benefits of good sleep and the damning effects of poor sleep. Really educate yourself, and this is a message to anyone. Become in tune with these things. You're like, oh, I should do this, or I want to do this. Like, if you learn more about them, it's a lot easier to be like, yep, I'm doing that because I want the benefits. Cool Girl 815 with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, hi, my dad was an alcoholic and did some horrible things to me and my siblings. My children want to know what happened. Should I? Here's the deal, and thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable. Here's the deal. I think if your kids are old enough, and this is always my opinion, so don't take it as anything more than that, but if you think anything you're going to share is going to damage their relationship with their grandpa, like if they have a really healthy relationship with their grandpa despite the unhealthy relationship you once had or perhaps still do, then you have to question if you're doing it to hurt them or help them. Is it going to help them to know these things? Is it going to help your family dynamic? Or is that stuff better left in the past because it will do more harm than good? That's where my head goes to when you say, should I tell my children what happened? Sure, if you feel confident that it's going to make things better. But if you think them knowing that about their grandpa is going to make things worse for them, if they're going to now lose their grandpa who perhaps has a healthy relationship with them, even if he didn't have one with you, then you might need to be careful and make sure you're not doing it just to hurt someone as opposed to help. But that sounds like a really, really hard situation. And I, of course, don't know better. That's just where my head goes. Good luck. Okay, 65 people. Welcome. Hey, if you guys are here and you've never commented before, join the conversation. Adelaide Dubois. Okay, thank you so much. I was so scared that I will have to deal with it for the rest of my life all the time. It's the first thing I think about when I wake up, and it's the last thing I think about at night. I know I hate that feeling. White Mamba. I'm a single mother to a 9-year-old and trying to bring him up with the best principles, but this isn't so cool to kids his own age, like wearing high helmet. Yeah, I can only imagine. Alex McCrae. Trying to raise some awareness for use of ketamine for depression. I tried dozens of antidepressants medication and did 12 rounds of ECT earlier this year with no luck. I started ketamine at the end of June, and it's absolutely saved my life. I'm happy that it's working for you. That's great. It's really great. Where did we go? Invalid DK. What type of drug is ketamine? GH Temple. What if I don't know if I'm an addict? At least you're exploring it. At least you're exploring it. That's an okay space to be in. Even if you're wondering, do some research. Look up YouTube videos. Google. How do I know if I'm an addict? And just explore that. Maybe you'll find out something you didn't want to know. Maybe you'll confirm that you're good. There's nothing wrong with learning. Jessica Ramirez. What's good, guys? What's good, Jessica? Welcome. FTWBK. I could test low on T if I ate like crap and didn't sleep well. True. Stylist Sisters. Hi. Hey. Nicole Thomas, thank you so much. I'm really proud of your progress. Thank you. You're a great mental health advocate. I try to raise awareness for mental health too, and you and the other YouTube advocates have inspired me. That's wonderful, and we all need to band together, that's for sure. Everyone's story matters. Every single person's story. Elizabeth Black, thank you for your open honesty. You're welcome. Thank you for thanking me, I guess. Alex says, ketamine was first used in medicine as an anesthetic in the battlefield. It is also used for pain management. The use of it for depression is fairly recent, but showing promising results. Hey, that's wonderful. That's really great. Cool Girl 819 dropped another super chat, $1.99. Thank you for supporting this channel. It says, my father passed away before my children were born. Then I would say no. Then my gut says, no, do not tell your kids what he did. If they already had a really fond memory of their grandpa, why tarnish that memory? Get the help you need to process that trauma, for sure, and honor your pain and suffering, and I'm sorry you went through it, but damaging a reputation of their grandfather, if they had a really good relationship with their grandpa, why? It's got nothing to do with them, what happened to you. And I think that's your trauma to work through and heal from. And I think you kind of make it theirs too, and it could warp them. It could be really hard for them. I think they're going to learn about this stuff anyway. I don't know that their grandpa needs to be how. But I'd say all this so carefully because I don't actually know what's best. That's just where my emotional IQ goes. Let him rest in peace, and you work on you. Jessica Ramirez, how can I get boyfriend people to get, how can I get BF, best friend, PP to get bigger? I don't know. What? Lucas Williams, I don't think I understand your question. Hi, can you say hi to me? Hi, Lucas. What up? Tao, don't worry. The camera angle looks good. Your skin looks really healthy. Your lifestyle's paying off. It's just like this, the way that it blows out the light up here because it can't handle the brightness. That's the only thing. Just like bleh, bleh. Alex McCrae, yes, strong reputation on VIVITROL. Okay, just talking about ketamine still. Dominic X, hey Noah, I found this channel when looking for reasons to get sober. I'm addicted to Xanax and using marijuana as a crutch to stay off Xanax. Was almost year clean before my first relapse. Yeah, I really appreciate your honesty, first and foremost. I love just blunt, honest communication. Found this channel when I was looking for reasons to get sober. Yeah, I mean, getting sober has been the biggest battle and the most trying thing in my life. And I understand it's hard. I would definitely say Xanax is your bigger battle than marijuana right now, but I do know a lot of people who are, in my opinion, horribly affected by marijuana. They think they're doing great, and I don't agree. I just don't agree. Yeah, wishing you courage and strength to get whatever you need out of whatever. Like if you want to get sober, I hope you do. I hope you do. And if you know the risks and dangers of taking Xanax and getting addicted, and benzos are scary. That's scary shit. I hope you connect with those and you take whatever steps you have to get better. FTWBK, Feminem sucks. Royal Pizza King, are you in YouTube for the money? Yes. The only reason I'm here, I'm so glad someone said it. Someone asked me, am I on YouTube for the money? If there was money, right, it is a very bad time to be a YouTuber for money. No, I would like to make a living doing this, that's for sure. I love this, and I'm so thankful for my audience and for my 2 channels. I can't tell you how much has blessed my life. No, I'm in YouTube because I fell into YouTube. It was not my plan to be a YouTuber at all. And let me be blunt with you. There's like no money in YouTube. I can just barely get by as a YouTuber, and that's with 2 channels that combined have 850,000 subscribers, and I can just barely pay my bills and get by. So, and I'm one of the lucky ones. No, I'm not in YouTube for the money. That's for sure. But I do love YouTube, and I love what I'm doing. And of course, I want to make some money. I need to live and pay my bills and have a life, but it's not why I started. Alex McCrae, thank you, Shane. It was cool. So you guys are chatting. That's good. Ethan says, does masturbation affect gains? No, masturbation does not affect gains. It has been shown that testosterone levels in guys drop very momentarily when they masturbate, and then it comes right back up to what it was. Now, I suppose I could rabbit hole that and say there's been some science on the effects of pornography on the mind. It can create loops of depression and anxiety and obsession, which can affect self-esteem, which can affect energy, which can affect your ability to be healthy and productive, like go to the gym and eat well. So maybe it can. It just all depends, right? Tracy Massey says, you made the suggestion doing your vlogs, etc. shirtless. What happened? Curious, might be unimportant. Tracy says, you made the suggestion doing your vlogs, etc. shirtless. What happened? Curious, might be unimportant. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I have this like, I think part of me wants to leverage you guys to help me stay accountable to my health and fitness goals. So I was like, I just licked my lips. That was weird. I was thinking to myself, like, maybe if when I do health and fitness videos, eating videos, try to just like show you guys the healthy stuff I do. If I make those sort of videos shirtless, so you guys can see what my physique looks like as a reflection of my choices. But I also don't want to come off the wrong way. I don't want to make anyone insecure. I don't want to seem vain. You know, you always try to manage these things when you're an online person like I am and get to be. Like, you want to assess your motivations. Am I doing this for me? Am I doing this for the wrong reasons? Whatever. Look with Luke. Hi, Mom. David's story sends me a heart. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Right back at you. Alessandro Rusotto. What helped me a lot is to understand I'm not just my mind. I think Alessandro, what it helped me a lot is to understand that I'm not just my mind. True. I'm not the thinker. I can observe my thoughts and not get into them. When it gets difficult, I just focus on my breath. Beautiful. Mindfulness. Yes. That helped me a ton. Wonderfully said. Alex McCrae, just happy to put the info out there. Absolutely, Alex. Miguel Torres, what do you do about constant obsessive thoughts, boredom, and depression? These thoughts are crippling me from doing anything. Medicine doesn't work. I started TRT recently. Miguel, obsessive thoughts are perhaps the most common complaint and struggle I hear from people, and it's been one of the most difficult and fucking miserable parts of my recovery is understanding what to do and how to affect these things. As I say often, and I will continue to say, the best chance you have with those thoughts is to repattern that mind, right? And how you repattern that mind are with gratitude journals, affirmations, healthy habits, daily plans and schedules. The more I focus on self-care, meditation, mindfulness, the basics, sleep, what I eat, exercise, like, the answer is always in the most simple things. And the simple things require time, energy to create habits to cultivate so that then they become just lifestyle as opposed to tremendous effort. So Miguel, the first thing you can do is hop out of bed and write down 3 things you're grateful for. Write down 3 things that would make today great. And write down 3 things positive about yourself. Positive affirmations such as I am good enough. I am smart enough. I am not my thoughts. Things like that. And work on repatterning that brain. Otherwise, idle time is dangerous when you're first learning mindfulness practice, but effort, just take some effort, put some things in practice and trust. Like, the biggest thing I've struggled with in the past, and I'm getting better at, but it's certainly still something I'm working on, is trusting, like really trusting. Like, if you're suffering bad enough, have the courage to trust that you don't know what's best for you, and then just take action. Nothing changes without physical action. Hope that helped. Because I do care. Kirsten, what up, Kirsten? Shanza. Hi, Noah. How are you? I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Hope your weekend was well, and I hope the week ahead is good too. You're so awesome. Always just sending good energy. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Shane. Shane Recovery and Hope. Good answer, Noah. My man. Marla! I love Marla. Marla Robinson, one of my favorite. One of the last videos you did about tests, you talked about possibly getting off it someday. Did I hear you correctly? If so, how can someone with low tests come off and feel okay? You did hear me correctly, and coming off would just be contingent upon me figuring out the root cause of my low T and seeing if with proper holistic protocol, really controlled, dialed in sleep, diet, nutrition, and identifying what type of hypogonadism I have, all those things coinciding, I imagine it's possible to come off. It would just require harmony amongst those things. So it's just about identification and execution. A big problem I see with guys on test is that they get on test and then they use it as a license to just behave terribly. They have low T. Many of them do not know why, which is fine, but in the short term. But then they just like, oh, I've got low T, so now I'm going to drink too much and I'm going to eat like crazy, and I'm just going to treat my body like crap because they just feel like I've got testosterone now coming in. I don't have to worry about that anymore, and it's a mistake. That's a good mistake. Marin W. Did you have a fear of turning 30? I'm 28 now, but still have no career or financial stability, struggling to survive, and feel like I'm failing and falling behind. Marin, you are feeling something that all of us feel at some point. I don't care, even if you have it all together. That quarter life crisis or third life crisis or whatever, it's like we start really assessing who we are, what we are, why we are. It's an important and necessary step. Try not to be afraid of it. It's required, right? It's just a rite of passage. It's important. And I still do it. Everyone still does it. You are 28, but it's not too late. Go on a date. Try not to slip in a grate. It's not your fate. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. That was so random. Yeah, how about this? I've 100% had freakouts about what I was doing with my life. The good news is, so long as you continue to seek and don't sit still and ask these questions and seek these answers, something's going to come to you. Keep talking about it. Keep investigating. Don't sit idly by and wonder by yourself. You're going to be okay. Maya Thomas, my mom says, "Hi, buddy. You passed by my message. Mom, you're supposed to leave your question on your super chat. And see how you wrote on your super chat, 'Hi, buddy. You passed by my message.' That's where you put your question because you're a super chat member. You paid for your question to be noticed. You silly mom. You just write it right there. So that way I don't have to go like find you on the live stream because you're right there, right where you put, 'Hi, buddy. You passed by my message.' That's where you put your message, sweet lady. But I'll go find it, okay? And thank you, Mama. Thank you. Silly lady. All right, guys, hold on. I got to find my mom's question or she's going to kill me. She brought me into this world. She can take me out. Where are you, Miss Maya? Where's this question? Mom, I don't see your question. Nope. No question from you, Miss Maya. All right. You know what, guys? You know what we're going to do? We're going to call my mom. Mom gets to be on the live stream now.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
You are on the live stream right now.
Well, hi, everybody. No, I sent you a message. I messed up. I did the $1.99 and my message didn't go through. And you skipped it, honey.
Honey. Mom, so I just said this on the live stream. Where you wrote, "Hey, buddy, you passed my message," that's where you write your question or your comment.
I already did it. It's up ahead, and I see it on that it went through.
All right, so in the future, thank you for your support, Mom. That's why I wanted to include you on the live stream right now. Just put your question or your comment right there in your super chat. So it just I get a notification that you did the super chat, but then I see your question right there with your super chat.
Right. I actually do that. I have done that in the past. It just didn't work out that way.
I see. Okay, I'm looking. I just scrolled through the whole thing and couldn't find.
Okay, I'm after Cool Girl or something.
Let's see. I'm going through the whole thing. Let's see.
This is so nice to be on your live stream.
I know. Mom, give people sage wisdom.
What is my sage wisdom?
Mom,
Well,
I'm going through everything. I don't see any question from you. I see your name for the super chat, but I don't see anything other than that.
Okay, well, I saw it in mine. Well, then can I just tell you?
Please tell me.
Okay, so what I said is, I know that I've told you many times that I knew I never wanted children. I knew it. I know you're laughing at me right now. I knew I never wanted children, but my God had something different for me. And maybe my HP knew better than me because you would have never been, and you have been one of the greatest joys in my life.
Well, how can I argue with that, Mom?
That's all I wanted to tell you, baby.
Well, thank you. I told you guys, my mom wants me to have little baby Noahs. I can't imagine why with the stress I've caused you. But apparently it's been slightly balanced out in my older years here and there.
Amen.
Amen. All right, I'll keep that in mind, Mom. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Oh, that's funny. My mom wants me to have kids. All right, that's the message. That's the message. Okay, where were we? James Harris says, are you still taking levothyroxine? What is your dose? And how has it improved your life? Yeah, I'm still taking levothyroxine, which is a thyroid medication, a T4 more specifically. My dose has been 0.625 micrograms per week for like a couple of years. And yeah, it's played well into my wellness. I mean, I had a thyroid issue. We addressed it. I can no longer tell you exactly how it helped, but it was part of the plan to balance me out, keep me running even, all those good things which impact mental health. It's a piece of the puzzle. Piece of the puzzle. Ted Mosby. I was in the mental ward 2 weeks ago. I'm on Seroquel now. Can you tell me a little about your experience with that drug? Did you get tingles in your body from it? Ted, hang in there, my friend. You're in a sensitive time, and I wish you so much courage. I need to stop sniffling in my nose right on the mic. That can't be a good sound. I used it off-label, so I used my Seroquel off-label. That's why my doctor prescribed it, to help me sleep. So I never had what you're experiencing. I didn't use it for bipolar. Not saying for sure I know why you're using it, but Shane's recovery and hope, just sending so much hope to everybody, which is awesome. He says, hang in there, Marin. I share the same feelings. Just stay positive. Kirsten says, 30 is a life-changing eye-opener, Marin. A year of self-discovery for sure, at least for me. You got this. Exactly. Guys, I have come to understand that those uncomfortable feelings about where you're at in life, what you're doing, and who you are, if you don't run from them or numb them out or whatever, if you just sit in them and let them do what they need to do, they will push you to where you need to go. I think where people get in trouble is not so much that they're having it. It's not that you're having like an existential crisis about who you are and what you want and what's right, blah, blah, blah. It's that you're running from it. The less I numbed out to it via drugs, alcohol, food, sex, whatever, fitness, I mean, anything can distract you, the sooner I got to like the real shit. That was deep, Noah. Good job. John Wynn, do you think governments will adopt holistic natural medicine to replace pharmaceutical medicine in the future? I hope that they're more deeply incorporated, that's for sure. Kyla Forster. Shane, I'm digging you positive vibes, sir. Yeah. Amazing. Yo, Noah. Yo. What up? Harrison Raybuck, feel free to ignore if you don't want to talk about it. I don't. No, I mean, the ketamine thing is great, dude. I'm happy to read your comment about it, and I just don't know much about it. But it's not that I want to ignore it. I'm just, if you're having like a conversation with someone else on the feed, I'll probably just move through that because, yeah, just keep the flow. But no, I'm very curious about the ketamine thing. I think I've gotten a ketamine injection from my naturopath before, so please don't take it that way. David Story, I've been struggling with OCD, depression, and DPDR for the last year. I've been coping just about mainly through getting organized and putting everything in order. However, sometimes this makes me feel worse and brings me some of my lowest points. Do you think that I should keep doing this, or do you think I should change my coping mechanisms? I just think coping mechanisms, David, need to be adaptive. So yeah, I don't think being organized is a bad thing. In fact, there's a lot of studies showing that people who are regimented and organized, live in really clean spaces, tend to be healthier, happier people. So no, I think that is a good thing. Now, if it plays into one of your obsessive cues, if it plays into some OCD thing that triggers something else, then you need to learn and be mindful about that. But I wouldn't let any one thing be the dominating factor of your self-care for coping with such important and serious things like OCD, depression, DPDR. I think you just need to create a holistic, all-encompassing approach. I think that's what all of us can ever hope to do. So just keep digging for other things to add as opposed to having to pull that away. Elizabeth Black, so my husband has been sober for 8, I'm assuming 8 years. Sorry, almost 10 years. For 6 years, he worked as a counselor in a faith-based regeneration. Good for your husband. That's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Omir Eldeeb, hi Nona, I'm 16, I have major depression, I've tried all medical advice. Do you know anything that might help? Omir, I just know that I believe in you, and I believe that the best thing you can do, especially at that age, is just to be brave and keep trying new things like all of us. I can't like advise you or suggest what you specifically need and don't need. I'm more one of those people that's a cheerleader for the basics. So like the basics for you, Amir, to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, like all of us. The other basics that you're finding ways to move every day, no matter how little, how much. Um, and another thing that's really important is to like be careful what you tell yourself. So like you're 16, you've tried all medical advice. That to me is dangerous language, and I want to explain to you why for anyone. So when you say that, I've tried all medical advice. You might have heard it go in, you might have even dabbled, but I promise you haven't tried all medical advice. There's a million things you can do through medical advice. A million. I mean, and there's just no way you've tried them all. And there's a difference between trying and then fully deep diving and doing, right? So I encourage you to be careful what you say to yourself and what language you use to convince yourself of blah, 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 blah. Because if you convince yourself you've tried everything, which respectfully, no, you haven't, then that's a pretty good excuse just to be miserable, I'd say, right? Like, imagine if you had, which is impossible, but imagine if I told myself, like, well, I'm depressed, I'm suffering, I'm hopeless, I'm anxious, and I have literally tried everything. Nothing works. I guess I'm just doomed. I guess I'm just destined to suffer forever. And so now, blah, 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 you know what? Self-destruct, medicate, whatever. It's just a dangerous spot to be. So my hope for you and for myself and for everybody is to never get to that space that you think you know it all, that you've tried it all. To stay hungry, humble, and willing to really try the things being suggested to you. Really. Because there are levels to all this stuff. And I'm on a level, and there are so many levels ahead of me. And there's some levels behind me, and I have a little hindsight, a little perspective. But I haven't tried everything. I've engaged in some half measures and then like written stuff off. Just look at that, okay? And then stay brave. Frank the Tank, do you use fitness supplements? No, I do not. Elizabeth Black, sorry, I'm okay. Raghav Singh, been trying antidepressants, but it doesn't work for longer than 2 days. Tried TRT, it's so much better. Did you develop a tolerance? No. I mean, TRT is not like that. It's just a hormone, from my understanding. So once your testosterone's leveled off, you know, you've got healthy testosterone. There's not like your body is like needs more to ... You need testosterone for basic body functions, and then hormonally speaking, the free testosterone will of course impact mood and all that stuff, but it's not like a drug in that way. Now, if I were using it to build muscle, if I were on TRT strictly to get as big as possible, then I would have to ramp that up and push my metabolic system, push my system. What am I trying to say? What system is that? Is it my endocrine? Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's how there could be a tolerance, but not for a therapeutic dose like I'm using. Look with Luke says, it's that time, myprayinglife.info, lookwithluke.com, a new YouTuber. Hey, thanks for the support. If Luke wants to drop a $5 super chat to plug something, more power to you, my friend, especially if it's something that can help other people. That's cool. That's fair. Joanna Watson, I just want to express how much I appreciate you and your videos. You've helped me a lot. Thank you for that. Just hearing that makes me feel good. Classic Munchies. Hey man, what up? Chris Chandley. I'm still waiting on that video of how you ate when you got shredded. I hope you're having a great day. I know. I don't know why I'm being so lazy about that. I think it's because like I'm just not in that mode anymore. Like I should have recorded that video when I was actively cutting, and I'm just not anymore. But I should, because I put on a few pounds since I hit my target weight. So I will set the intention to film that video this week. Cool Girl 815. Classic Munch says, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. I hope you're well too. Cool Girl 815. Thank you. My children never met my father. He died before I was married. He and I made peace with each other years before he died. Good. My children have heard stories, not from me. Sorry I wasn't clear. No, don't be sorry. It's all good. I'm glad you guys made peace though. That's cool. Ethan, thanks Noah. My man. Perla Ibanda. Hello, my name is Perla. I'm pregnant and have General anxiety disorder and depression and severe DR. Oh, that's a tough space to be in. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Get all the support you could possibly need, and good luck with your pregnancy. Does DP affect memory? Yeah, for sure. Rasmus, hi Noah, nice to see you. How's it going? Good to see your name, and it's going good. It's going good. I'm fasting today. I'm going to try to fast all day today and eat tomorrow. So that's always like an interesting thing, always an interesting experience when I do that. John Wynn, how do you look back and evaluate your decisions to take the shot to help your alcoholism? John Wynn says, how do you look back and evaluate your decision to take the shot to help your alcoholism? Thoughts? How do I, are you asking like, how do I evaluate the reasons I got sober? How do I identify that I'm an alcoholic? Oh, whoa, you're talking about I think it just hit me slow. I have so much post-nasal drippage, it feels like I'm just choking on my own snot. Are you talking about the VIVITROL? It was an act of desperation. So way back in the day, guys, I took a shot called VIVITROL that had an active ingredient called naltrexone. Naltrexone is used to create a ceiling effect for opiates and alcoholics, so when they use or drink, we can't feel what we're doing. Sorry for sniffling. And I had a major mental breakdown. I had a paradoxical reaction. My decision to take that shot was an act of desperation because I couldn't stop drinking and I didn't know that I'd ever be able to. And I've always had, no matter how many times I have successfully gotten drunk, woken up, and kept moving, for the longest time I have had that just inner voice, that inner scream and calling that I'm in trouble and that this isn't the way and that I'm in danger and that I need to get sober. That's always ends up coming up. But I can push it aside, and I can do okay, make some money, have some fun, and just be all right for a time. But eventually my drinking progresses. Eventually I do sketchy things. Eventually I get really depressed and anxious. Eventually things go wrong. And I get that burning feeling like, uh-oh. And that's what happened when I took that shot. It was just another like, oh no, I just got out of rehab. I'm drinking again. Here we go again. It's basically a survival mechanism kicks off in me. And so I took that shot. And that almost killed me. So, boy, do I need to stay sober. Marin, thanks Shane, Kirsten, awesome. Sarah Lennon, hi Noah. I try and watch your live stream every week. I've been struggling with mental illness since 15. I'm now 35, and I'm at my lowest. I struggle to go to doctor's appointments due to anxiety. Any tips? Oh, Sarah. Yeah, tips for going to your doctor's appointments. Perhaps see if someone can go with you. Perhaps wear sunglasses all the time to create a barrier between you and the environment, the people, the light, the noise. Maybe before you go, you do some meditation and mindfulness and breathing, stuff like that. And just stay in touch with your reasons why you keep fighting. You're very brave. You've been at this for a long time. I hope you've had some okay times in the midst of that time. But yeah, just calming practices, meditative practices, self-care. Those are my tips. And then just never lose sight of why you keep fighting and never stop trying. Corey T says, lust. I don't remember the context. Perla Ibanda, I'm so scared everything looks like HD 3D all the time that I got to the point that I feel fake. Lost feeling is not real. Just want everything to stop. It's been 8 days in my room. That's so painful. Be brave. Hang in there, Perla. Corey T, yes. Shane Recovery. Perla, stay strong. Awesome. The show 78596. Did you ever think of suicide or hurting others you love? Definitely thought of suicide. Never thought of hurting others I love. Please talk to someone if that continues to persist. Corey T says, what about MK Ultra mental health abuse? I don't know anything about it. Corey T says, herbs are better. Yes, bro. No kids for me. Master J, what's up, Noah? What up? I actually was motivated enough to change my diet to more of an organic-based diet thanks to you. I did use to be shit in the past. My diet used to be shit in the past. Good for you. Anything to move the needle, guys. That's fantastic. Pearly Banda, Shane's, I'm trying to stay. Okay, talking to each other, good. Catherine Drake, so true, thank you. Oh, dang it. Shane's recovery. Perla, please don't know. Yeah, absolutely. Corey T says hello. What up? Omer LD. Hi, Bignoknow. I'm 16. I've been really depressed for 2 years. I've tried medication, exercise, and it did not help. Don't give up. Yeah, just refer to my past message to you, Omer. Saying you've tried medications. There's a bazillion. You tried exercise. It did not help. That doesn't mean you stop exercising. It doesn't. It will help. It does help, even if you can't immediately understand how or why. It does help. Don't give up on proven things because you didn't get instant results. You have to have a marathoner's mentality about this stuff, guys. Randy says, hi, Mama Noah. Corey T, wow. Pearly Bondo, thank you. Okay, good. You guys are chatting with each other. It's so awesome. Corey T says, I find aromatase good. Like, okay, good. Adam LaCastro, how am? Kyla Foster, Perla, I definitely get me. Okay, good. You guys are chatting with each other. That's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Makes me so happy. John Wynn says, my friend thinks depression is fake and that people are just weak or making excuses. Yeah, that's a common misconception. How can I convince him otherwise? It's not your job to convince him otherwise. Makes me angry. Thanks, Noah. You're awesome. Yeah, so don't worry about convincing him of anything. He's not who needs your convincing. He may be in a space of mental health struggle one day as well. And you don't need to change his mind right now. You don't. You need to nurture yourself, live your truth, stay in your lane, and let go of trying to convince and fix other people's perceptions on things that you maybe are more enlightened on. It's unfortunate, and you need to set boundaries with that person, that's for sure. If they're being outspoken in your presence without provocation, then maybe set some boundaries. But no, just be kind and loving to that person, and then move on. James Harris, you recently started your weekly dose of testosterone. You recently stated your weekly dose of T is 140 per week. Where does this get your total testosterone levels on a trough day? I need to do a new test, but my last time it was like 600-700 or 500-600. Yes, sir. Hi, Noah. How are you? Yazir Ali says, hi, Noah. For how long your depression lasted? Acute, dangerous stuff, about a year and a half. Moderate depression, another year. And then a battle mild here and there since. Harrison Raybuck, haha, you're actually passed up my question, or maybe it never got posted because my question was too long. I was referring to my previous question. Here it is. Try copy and paste, but it wouldn't let me. Are you still open to talking about the day you... okay, I'll get there, Harrison. One sec. Adam LaCostra, currently taping our Klonopin. Any advice? Slow. My advice is slow and with your physician. David's and Shane's recovery and hope. Thank you for continuing to encourage everyone here. You're killing it right now. David's story. Thanks, Noah. Big inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing. Yes, sir. Thank you. Lou Guy, you're the best cheerleader ever. Harrison Raybuck, I tried to copy and paste, but it would not let me. Are you at all open to talking about the day of your mental breakdown in May of 2011? Did it literally happen the same day as your VIVITROL shot? Regardless, I'm sure it was so spooky, man. I'm really proud of you for coming out of it, though. Yeah, I mean, I'm of course, it's part of my story. It's part of my story, and I'm more than happy to quickly share about it. Yeah, that day, so like I said, guys, the reason this channel even exists is because I had a mental breakdown in 2011. And the breakdown, I was vulnerable, I realize now, for one, but the actual breakdown itself happened because I took an injection, intramuscular, of a medication that I had a rare, unusual reaction to. And it did happen immediately, Harrison. Immediately I started to have brain fog. Immediately I started to just think slower, move slower, see different. It was almost like a fog rolled over my eyes. I shudder thinking about it. It was so fucking scary. I felt irritable and angry, and my anxiety rose, and my heart rate rose immediately. I felt hot, and I felt down and distracted and confused, and that was immediately, within 10 minutes. And then my appetite went away, right away. I couldn't eat. I went and got a sandwich or something, and I remember eating like half of it and just being disgusted by the flavor. And so within 48 hours, I had my first panic attack of my life, and from that moment on, it was like being on fire everywhere. It's like being on fire. Lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds immediately, and was basically just trying to figure out how to kill myself for the next year. Very fucked up, pardon my language. I'm so thankful I'm not in that space anymore. I sometimes don't know how I survived. That's why I just tell people just keep going. Just don't give up, because I was so positive I was dead. There's no reason to think anything else. And I was wrong. And life is dope now. So it's like, wow. It took a long time though. El Bandito. Bandito. Hi Noah. How to know if I have depressive personality or if I'm just depressed because of my current situation? I don't know. Let's see. Depressed personality, or address the situation, and maybe address the situation with all your heart. I think the key is to control as many factors as you can, and then see how you respond. You can mood journal a little bit, which is valuable. It's something I did, but I think it's just to investigate. It's not to sit there and try to figure it out in your head. That much I can say with relative clarity. Tana Giverson just did a $2 super chat. I don't see a question associated with it, so I'm going to go looking for one, but thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Tana. Tana, I don't see a question for you, but I really appreciate. Oh, Tana says you should do a P.O. Box haul. I will. I'll definitely do another one of those soon. I love opening stuff from you guys. It's so much fun. So much fun. All right. Sorry, guys. I lost my place. Look at that. I'm almost there. There we go. Okay, so Ryby says, here we go. Hey, bro. Thanks for your videos. It gives me hope. I was prescribed clonazepam for my panic and anxiety. I've been weightlifting and trying to get my head clear. Thanks for your support. You're very welcome. Be careful with that clonazepam. Listen to your doctor. I'm not your doctor, but just be careful. That stuff is highly addictive and very, very intense to come off of. So I was always instructed by my psychiatrist to make sure I'm using it less than I'm not. So I never used it more than 3 days a week so that I wouldn't develop a dependency, and I ended up using it more and developing one. And let me tell you, coming off it made everything mentally worse. So just be careful, and then yeah, keep crushing the weights, dude. Keep doing that. It's fantastic. Harrison says, I'm definitely curious about how it all went down. Yeah. The drunk Draven. Hey Noah, I love follow your journey. Thank you for showing people anything can be done. You got it, dude. Thank you for sharing that. Arthur Braxton. Hi Noah, do you have any tips on dealing with shame and regret from drunken behavior and alcohol? Yes, adjust the behavior. You can't change what you've already done. All you can do is take steps to identify why it happened and what you're willing to do about it. So the shame and regret, forgive yourself first of all. Forgive yourself that it happened, but ask yourself if you're willing to let it happen again, and just start investigating that. Fernando Almaguer. And I understand. I have so much in my past that's regretful around my drinking. Biggest thing being drinking and driving. I was a huge drinking and driving guy when I was a drinker. And it breaks my heart to think about. And I'm just so glad no one ever got hurt. Excuse me, guys. All right, we're going to wrap this up pretty soon because your boy is getting a little bit tired. So we're going to get through a few more questions. Take some more super chats if they come, but we're going to be wrapping this baby up soon. Been on this for 90 minutes. That's kind of about what I got in my system. No thing. Sunday, I got to rest on Sunday. It's constant. Hi, do you have any tips with dealing with shame? Yeah. So Fernando Almaguer says, Noah, do you start to feel the effects of lower testosterone in your blood at the end of the week and then a recharge after you pinning in? No, not at all. For me, when I'm depressed, I always remember if you can get in and I for me says, when I'm depressed, I always remember, if you can get in it, there are always a way out of it. Yes, I like that, and I agree. Jamie Souza, I realize my boyfriend has severe depression and gets really angry all of a sudden. How can I keep the love alive on my side, but also set the seeds for him to get help? Do you have any suggestions? That's tough. One thing I would say is that regardless of if your boyfriend struggles with depression, his anger is not acceptable if it's abusive and if it's hurting you, affecting you. So I think there's like a principle of detaching with love that could be put in place there. I think there's the understanding that you cannot control his behavior, but you can absolutely set boundaries for what you expect for yourself. And then you need to be ready to make actions and moves to let him know that's not acceptable. Treat him with love and kindness, of course. Don't get caught up in that sort of thing. And then take extra good care of yourself. You cannot force him to change, but you can absolutely surprise him and inspire him to look at his ways based on honoring yourself, your needs, and taking good care of yourself. But yeah, the seeds start with you, definitely not with him. Good luck, and don't accept any form of abuse. It's not acceptable no matter what someone's going through. Marco Tora, I don't know if I should post this, but I found a book about depression. It shows dialogue with therapist and patient. It tells how therapist heals patients' depression with only 3 sessions. That's cool. John Wynn, yes. Nicole Thomas, it's interesting you mentioned naltrexone. My psychiatrist prescribed that to me when I was 19, and when I was addicted to cutting myself, it worked for a while. Yeah, some people work really well with naltrexone. I'm not demonizing it like it's this thing that's going to not work for everybody. It's just I had a paradoxical reaction and damn near killed me. Hamili Falan, alcohol relieves your anxiety first, but after several hours you feel so bad that you want to kill it, right? Yeah, it has a rebound effect like that, guys. That was something I was definitely learning about alcohol. It's like the negatives were not outweighing the were outweighing the positives in that regard, especially for someone with like a propensity for depression and anxiety and worry and obsession. Mixing a bunch of alcohol to treat that, even before I realized that's what I was doing, of course it would create rebound anxiety, rebound obsession, less stability, less follow-through, worse self-esteem. Vicious cycle. Gotta be aware. Tana Giverson, you should do, yeah. Adam Lacastro, how did you taper off Klonopin? Just like crazy slow and under the supervision of my doctor. Everyone needs to be individualized in that way. But I don't know. I think I was like cutting my dose by like a quarter every 2 weeks. Or no, like an eighth or a tenth every 2 to 3 weeks, like really slow. And some people need even slower. Pillsbury Dope Boy says, hey man, I've been suffering from marijuana-induced derealization for the past 6 years. It sucks, dude. Ever since then, I've further been trying to cope with escape my effed up interpretation of the world. Hang in there, man. That's tough. I still believe you can get better. I've heard stories of guys getting better. Crazy Skill Set says, hello, Mr. No. What do you think about doing something with Trey Jones? That would be pretty good to see. That's like watching LeBron come to the Lakers. I don't even know who Trey Jones is. Who's Trey Jones? What would he want with a little old YouTuber like me? I'm underground. I feel like I'll always be underground. Oh, is he like a BMXer? And Look with Luke. Is there any way we can have a chat board where viewers can chat together outside the live stream? I mean, that'd be kind of interesting. I don't know. I can look into that. Pillsbury Dope, I can't decide if I want help or not. Can't quit the hash oil, and if I do, I think I'll be back to the narcos. Dang. So yeah, thanks for being honest. So you're still using. It's going to be tough to heal that way, my friend. I'm not saying impossible, but if you're still on the oil, you're still using the thing that got you sick. You're going to probably stay in that cycle until that's broken. And you can change things. It can be different. You said, can't question if I do, I think I'll be back to the narcos. Like, so you have an addiction problem. You're an addict. So, yeah, that needs to be your number one priority. And one of the most important things that any of us can do as addicts and alcoholics is come to believe that there is a better way. And that takes what it takes. I'll be rooting for you, though. Nicholas says, hi, Noah. Thanks for live streaming. Of course. Thanks for being here. Ooh, we're almost caught up. I think as soon as I get caught up, guys, I'm going to call the live stream. We're getting really close. I quit smoking. I can relate to the drinking alone situation. I would go out and sit on my phone all night drinking, and I would not want other people bothering me. I sat far away from people. So pointless. I know. It's crazy. Sarah Lennon. I still struggle even when someone goes with me to appointments. I have multiple mental illnesses and severe chronic pain. I struggle to make it through each day. I struggle to get out of bed. Sarah, have you ever considered an intention to heal? Exercise. It's this thing that worked really well for me and works well for a lot of people. It's part of a lot of counselors' protocol. I put it off for a long time, but what you end up doing is you write out what your ideal day would look like if you didn't have any of the issues you do have, and you read it every day so that you can start creating belief that things can be different, because there is a part of being sick for a long time that I know for myself and perhaps with you, is that we start to kind of we identify ourselves now as permanently broken, and it's dangerous. We have to be careful, and we have to remind ourselves that we can heal, we will heal, and even if we don't believe it, we have to say it, we have to read it, we have to hear it, we have to touch it. It has to be real to us, and I still believe in your healing. I hope you can cultivate a mindset that you believe you can heal. What you think, whether you're right or wrong, impacts what will happen. So never give up, and maybe consider writing out that intention to heal. I wake up every day with energy. I'm grateful for the day. I have no pain in my body. I have energy, so I go for a nice walk. I enjoy a healthy meal, and blah, blah, blah. You just write an as if first person healthy day, and then you read that every morning, okay? Pillsbury, I went from 140 to 200 and now down to 130 in the past 2 years. Completely lost the motivation, no weight lift. Yeah, like I said, brother, I think we got to address your addiction stuff first. DBoss86, I just came across your videos. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Marco Tora, writing to someone. Hannah Azadir, what should I ask you? Anything you want. SPWE PVP, what do you do for a living? I make YouTube videos for a living. Between my two channels, I also do a little consulting here and there. For YouTube and for some mental health stuff. I CrossFit coach, so I'm a certified CrossFit trainer, and I coach in some classes there. I do some freelance video work. I'm an entrepreneur. RyCKL, I feel like I'm in third person all the time. I hate that feeling. I have conversations with myself like I'm talking to someone, but it's just me in the mirror, and I feel so messed up to sleep, and it's been going on for a while. Hang in there, brother. Hang in there. Our sister. That sucks. I'm sorry. Harrison Raybook. Wow, that's really heavy. Thanks for sharing. I was asking because a few years ago I was drugged with a weed brownie. Not the same, I know, but it was like the same exact experience as you described. Really, thanks for sharing. That sucks, dude. And it is the same. It just might be a different trigger. And that's terrible. All about entertainment, cricket, and game hacking. I am taking testosterone E for TRT. I'm 26. I'm having 26 million sperm per ml and 50 of motility. And my age is 17. So tell me, will my testosterone injection affect my sperm count? Yes, it will. You're awful young to be on TRT. I'm curious about your story. Rasmus say, I moved away from a dictatorship, but not sure if I can get citizenship and my freedom. If I don't succeed, I'll take my life. Wow. But part of me, despite not all hope being lost, is suicidal yet. What to do? I don't know, man. Just stay alive and just do the next best thing. And get help. Don't rely on only your thinking on this one. James Souza says, thank you. We live in Mexico, and he's forced to work 16-hour days, 6 days a week. Too insane. I couldn't hold my life together with no sleep. Thanks for your live stream videos. Oh, I know. People are so incredibly resilient. Thank you for sharing that. Rasmus says, I don't want to give up till there's hope, but it's hard to keep going. Yeah, it is hard to keep going. You can only imagine. Do it anyway. Do it anyway and take that chance and find out if it's worth it. I think it will be. All About Entertainment Cricket says, I am taking testosterone. Yep, already answered yours. Dean Baker says, hey Noah, I've been watching your videos right from the start. I do struggle myself with drinking and smoking, and I'm not as happy as I used to be. I'm trying to better myself every day. Watching you helps. I'm glad I could help. I'm just another one of us doing the best I can in the struggle. Please believe that there is a different path for you if you want it. Please don't be too hard on yourself for the path you're on. And just know that you can be as happy as you could possibly want to be. You can be anyone you want to be. If I can change, anyone can change, because I'm a looping, hopeless, depressive alcoholic who has a life I couldn't possibly imagine now. So yeah, just be gentle with yourself. Make little steps, inch closer to that wellness. That's all I do. It's all anyone can do. David's story says, keep going, Rasmus. Awesome. All right, guys, we've caught up to the questions. We are all caught up. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you very much for being a part of this live stream. You guys make my life better every single day. Susan Jones, hey, how's it going? Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to go just relax, enjoy my Sunday. Thank you for being here. We'll see you guys next Sunday, and I have some content I'm excited about this week. And have your best day. Have your best day. Have your best week. And if you're struggling right now, don't give up. Be brave. 1 minute, one day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time. We can get through what we're going through, I promise. Just be 0.1% better today than you were yesterday. And love yourself today. And I'm trying to think of all these other woo-woo-y things because it's like that stuff matters. So anyway, adios, guys. Have your best week. And we will see you soon. All right, bye.